Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Mickey Mouse here once again, and I'm back from the Maxi Toys, and welcome back to my last play of New Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo DS. It's the last time we've now accomplished World 5, and today, for this episode, we're about to be exploring World 6, which the environment of World 6 takes place at the mountain type of peak level. Yeah, so let's get this thing started then. So let's go ahead and start from the top while starting to deal with level 6-1. And then in this level we actually have ourselves a bullet bill launchers, even though they now actually start to actually rotate every once in a while when those like the red arrows is actually pointing what the direction that the bullet bills are aiming at. So yeah, basically that's all we can go for this part here. So, unlike the other worlds of the game that we actually been to from before, from the previous worlds ago, that this world, I believe this world does not contain any secret exits. So it's just basically, the only things we might actually just keep an eye out is the star coins. So, there aren't exactly any of these secret exits in this world, so it's just basically, it's very straightforward, getting to the regular goals. So, yeah, basically it's that simple, right? Now if you go up there, if you time your jump just right with the bullet bill... Oh god, I got hit by the bullet bills, aren't I? There we go. And then if you go down here, I think this is where you actually find yourself the third and final star coin, what that was located and such. So let's go ahead and just be careful just to not get hit by these bullet bills. Now here's a little cool trick about this level is that when you actually get more of those bullet bills, then as you can see from the bottom screen, as you can tell from the bottom right of the screen, is that I actually got myself a gazillion like bunch of lives to actually get. The reason being for that is because well, if you actually let those enemies go by flying by all over the place, and when you actually touch the flagpole, and if you do that, that will actually kill those enemies easily. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, on to level 6-A, and then in order to acquire it to unlock this level, it's pretty straightforward. It's basically paid 5-star coins. So, it appears to be we're actually in this desert level, seems like it, because we have ourselves a little sinking sand, and we actually have ourselves a little new mechanic of this level. We have ourselves a little tornado so that we can fly about. I think that was also influenced in, well, I don't know what to think of. Now, if you go into this little sand hole right here, or the sinking hole, then you will actually get yourselves a second star coin, as you can see on this, in the bottom right corner of the screen, as you can tell from the Wii U version of the game. Because, you know, HD 1080p software, so, you know. And then I think in here I just get a bunch of coins inside. Nothing major, but it's something. So, yeah, I think this only happens twice for these tornado sequence here. And also, things you have to worry about is these Lakitus trying to throw some spinies at you. In fact, they're come out. It's like really hectic when those Lakitus come out. In fact, you have to well, you know. Now, if you approach into this yellow pipe down there, that will actually lead us to the third and final star coin is by jumping over the giant piranha plant, or if you actually have a fire flower equipped, then you should be able to kill the giant piranha plants, which only can take like 3 hits. So it's that simple, right? So few things I want to just briefly mention about something is that I haven't exactly mentioned about the news update for some new things have been coming out, since I haven't talked about that in the previous video. Is the fact that recently 2 days ago that Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Wii U and 3DS actually have themselves a last DLC pack, which includes like the wave 6 of those different Mii costumes, and as well as Bayonetta is now being playable, and of course Corn from Fire Emblem Fates. So Even though much like Robin, it also comes with the male and female incarnations, which sure enough it does. Alright, on to level 6-2, where we actually go ahead into the water level, but first things first, I might actually go ahead and grind myself for 1-ups for a bit, because I almost there to actually get myself 99 maximum lives. In fact, I only got about 14 left. So, yeah. As for the later games, well, except New Super Mario Bros. Wii and New Super Mario Bros. U, because those two games did have a 99 lives system, or else in New Super Mario Bros. 2, is that it feels similar to how it does in Super Mario 3D Land and 3D World, that the maximum 1-ups is definitely 1,100. On this case. No, 1,110 lives, so yeah, then that's why we suggestions with that. Alright, so here we have this raising water type of level, since, I believe we actually did sort those, types of gimmicks before in, World 2, 3, in the basement, that you actually have to encounter the secret exit. If you find a hidden block right on top of the plum tree, you should be able to access the beanstalk. Now, getting the first star coin rather, is actually a little bit tricky at first, because we have to maneuver while timing your jumps just right on this flying question mark blocks. And then if you time when you actually jump through those, then if you hop into this little solid platform, and then that's how you reached it. So good thing that was actually a really good way to actually just attain it. And also, not to mention that, in addition to having the last pack of DLC stuff of Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo Wii U and 3DS, is the fact that recently, also not to mention for that, is that Super Mario Galaxy, at least in the PAL version of the game, which the country I was lived in right now, that essentially this game or that game has now been re-released on the Nintendo Wii U's Virtual Console eShop download. But even then, I've already got the copy of the game, but the only difference has been is that 1080p, high definition, and stuff like that for that particular situations. So that's the for the most part for that checks out there. So you know. Alright, so the second star coin is pretty simple right there, so you have to get up to there so that you can get yourselves a second star coin, as I've said that before. And I believe, for the most part, in these that's floating in general, as well, at least we're expected where we actually get into the later level in World 6. One of my favorite parts about this world is definitely the pipe cannons, because it makes me think that, oh wow. Anyways. And the reason I got myself a Star Man for the Roulette block is because I think this might actually be the easiest way to get yourself a third star coin while actually destroying those Spinies in the first place. And if you do that well enough, then you basically guarantee that you can get yourself a third and final star coin. But if you don't, well even though you do have a Fire Flower equipped, and if you do have that equipped, then you should be able to take down those Spinies no problemo. So, yeah. And there we go, that's on level 6-2. No problemo for that level indeed. Now, just a little clarification about this world is that, well, for this world and as well as the last world of the game, which we'll get into that in a minute, but this world actually contains 2 towers. Sure, it seems likely just a bit of a longer world of the game. That's because that's why they actually added up 2 towers. I believe it also does that in Puzzle and Dragon Super Mario Bros. Edition, where I believe in some of these worlds that actually contains like 2 towers, and I believe the final level on in this case the final main world of Puzzle and Dragon Super Mario Bros. Edition, but in fact I haven't gone into that game just yet because I pretty much got stuck by this little difficulty spike when it comes to enemies like damage output, which I might actually get back to that at some point. But back on topic. For the final world in Puzzle and Dragon Super Mario Bros. Edition is the fact that it actually contains 3 towers, which sounds insane, really. But I kind of felt sad that it does not have 2 towers in New Super Mario Bros. 2, but instead it only has like just only 1 tower, including from that such. Alright, so in this level's gimmicks though, we actually have to deal with some spike pillars since Wall 3 Castle, even though we solved those before in Wall 3 Castle, but usually we have to deal with it in water. But this time we actually have to deal without water, so... Oh god, that part always catches me off guard anyway. But there's the second star coin anyways. Now, the third and final star coin is actually a little bit tricky to glimpse with. Now, you see this dry bones right there? Well, all you have supposed to do is to time your jump just right so that you can stomp onto his head. But even then, you only got about a few attempts to do this. And then constantly do wall jumps so that you can time your jumps just right so that you'll actually make it to the green pipe. Which sure enough, it might be a little bit tricky to glimpse with this. And then once we hit into the green pipe, oh my goodness. You can just do that, but I'll just make it a bit more safer than the ones in the original method. Alright, on to the door we go. So here we have Bowser Jr. Somewhat an easier mode, but this time around we actually have to deal with him in this balancing platform. Because you don't want to fall off into the spikes at all, because if you do, then you're probably going to die a lot from that part. And I believe this actually be the final time to actually see Bowser Jr.'s techniques like this one. Whilst in the later worlds, or in this case the later levels, I believe we actually gotta go back to where Koopa, no, not Koopa Troopa, Bowser Jr. is gonna toss the green shell back at you projectile type of technique. So, at least we get back into the challenge point. Alright, on to level 6-3, that we have ourselves, we ended up in the jungle, or in this case the grassy land environment. It's a bit weird to kind of think about it though, but I'll explain to that when we actually get into the later part of World 6. And in this level, much like how it does in level 3-B, is that this level actually contains a whole bunch of pipes, well, at least in the first section of the level, so yeah. So I need to figure it out how to get the second star coin. If I remember rightly, I need to check if every single pipe are still solid. Even when I couldn't get access to, so... I believe it's this pipe right here. No, how about this one? Oh yeah, that will actually lead me to the second star coin. Now, potentially the third star coin, got hit by the piranha plant. I'm so stupid. Although, literally, I'm not so entirely stupid, but, anyway. Now, the third and final star coin is actually a little bit of a different story to actually just to get to it. When I was, like, playing this game on the Nintendo DS game cartridge, I always attempt to get it with a Mega Mushroom, because the Mega Mushroom is actually really handy in the first and the easiest method. But the harder way though, if you actually do it like the perfect way like I do, that will actually lead me to the third and final star coin, but luckily though you can escape out of it with the wall jump. But when I was like 7 years old, or no, not 7 years old, when I was like 11 years old for that time, I used to always have to use the Mega Mushroom in order to bust out the star coin so that I can destroy those pipes easily. In fact, you can basically break everything with the Mega Mushroom in this level specifically, because there's way too many pipes. And here's a little coin bag right there since level 5-2. But yeah, as you can see, if you ground pound on him, you can get a whole bunch of coins. Now, for these red question mark blocks, you can see they actually start to rotating. If they actually, start to go spinning, it does have a spikes on top of them. If they flip it from upside down, then that will basically meaning that, it'll start to actually, hurt you when you actually jump onto the question mark block. But if they actually rotate again, if the spike's on top, you probably won't ground pound, so instead you just have to jump, so... And so on and so forth, like first person stuff like that. Alright, on to level 6-4. We haven't exactly encountered the Helmet Brother yet. In fact, quite a number of times I was trying to show you guys the Hammer Bro when it comes to the items version. But a lot of times though, it can be a little bit more random. But, oh well. Alright, so in this level we actually have ourselves a fire boss to avoid. So we got ourselves a little strict timing involved in there. So, that should be more of like a piece of cake and just in my little cup of tea or something. So, anyway. So yeah, what can I say about today? It's basically just a really exciting this weekend. Is because, well, although usually if you be a pro at this, you probably, although if you're in a speed run of this game, if you actually do this level, is that you can actually bypass the estimation mark switch, which I always love doing that because I always been a pro at this. Alright, so the third and final star coin is actually a bit more interesting to get. It's by basically just scaling on the walls. Yeah, I haven't exactly mentioned about this part, is that in this world in particular, it actually introduced into these little scaling on the walls without even falling off. So, if you time your jumps just right, especially noticeable in this level, then that will lead us to the third and final star coin, which might actually involving the fireballs to dodge as well. So, gonna have to time our jumps right. So, and there we go. That's the third and final star coin. So yeah, that's simple. Well, let's let this fireballs can get out of my way, and should be able to be good to go here. And let's head to the green pipe. And there we go. End of the level. I can't believe how ridiculously short these levels are. In fact, this was actually the 17th recording mark. That we actually beat those levels quite flawlessly. I think we actually beat about like 6 levels so far. I might decide to go ahead and do one more level and then I'll end things off here. But for now, let's do level 6-Tower Mark II. The reason why I call this Mark II is because, as you can tell, it does say Tower 2. Oh, would you look at that? There's a mini mushroom inside there. But mini mushroom can be really difficult in this level, so I'm actually gonna have to take up the fire flower instead, so that'll make it much more, well, a bit more comfortable. Okay, so let's see here. Toss that shell here. And jump onto this conveyor belt. Just to get some little attributes here. And when we actually go over there, there's the first star coin just right over there. So yeah. As far as the game suggested, that the game can get really difficult later on, especially in 100% completion. So, even though I don't mind this world too much, it's a bit easier to be honest, but I know some people do have some trouble with this, but for me, I'm almost pretty pro at this still, so, you know. And that's the reason why also that I don't like to actually just use the mini Luigi for this part, because the second star coin you have to acquire is the Super Luigi or Super Mario form in order to grab that, because you bust out these brick blocks. While actually just trying to bust out of this, then you can probably going to grab the second star coin no matter what. So, yeah, pretty easy though. And the third and final one is just hidden onto here, into this tightrope. And there we go. So, now we can actually deal with Bowser Jr. for a second time in this world. But this time, a bit more challenging, so, yeah. But thanks to the fire flower, he's pretty easy for the most part. Like, I essentially beat him for like a few seconds. And I realized about something that I actually got a digit number as well for that level. Yes, if you actually do have digit numbers if you beat the tower levels, and the castle level as well, those do also count if they actually appear just about right in a second. Yep, it does. So, I'm gonna have to finish this video here. So next time on Let's Play New Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo DS, is that hopefully we'll finish up World 6. So see you guys next time. Later, fellas.